Have you ever felt the ground shift beneath you? Not from an earthquake, but from your legs, trembling as you climb a stair or take a simple step. Maybe you've caught yourself hesitating at the edge of a curb, that quiet dread of a fall whispering in your ear, or watched a grandchild dart ahead while your once steady stride lags. It's a heartbreak too many seniors know, the slow fade of legs that carried us through life's grandest moments, now faltering under the weight of years. Aging isn't gentle. It sneaks in with sarcopenia, stealing muscle, thinning bones into fragility, and stiffening joints until every move feels like a plea. But here's the spark that can light your way back. You don't have to let your legs fade. In this video, we're diving into the power of pasture-raised eggs, nature's vitamin D dynamos, packing a punch to keep your bones strong, your step steady, and your independence fierce. Stick with us to the end, because we're not just sharing science. We're revealing real stories, like Margaret's, who reclaimed her stride at 79, and practical tips you can start today to fight back against the thief of age. Your legs deserve this, and so do you. Watch on to discover how to keep them strong for every adventure still ahead. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. The silent thief. Why your legs weaken. Aging is a quiet thief, slipping into our lives with a subtlety that belies its power. For so many seniors, it's the legs that feel its touch first, those faithful pillars that once carried us through bustling markets, up endless staircases, and across dance floors with effortless grace. After 40, a slow, insidious process called sarcopenia begins its work, stealing muscle mass at a rate of 1 to 2% per year, accelerating with a vengeance after 60. Picture it. The sturdy muscles that powered your strides thinning out, leaving you unsteady, as if the ground itself has grown less trustworthy. Bones, too, fall victim, losing density until they're no longer the unyielding supports of youth but fragile twigs, prone to snapping under the slightest misstep. Joints, worn by decades of movement, creak and stiffen, their once smooth cartilage fraying like an old rope. Hormonal shifts, dwindling levels of growth hormone and testosterone, further sap our body's ability to repair and rebuild, as if time has turned our biology against us. The result is a heartbreaking betrayal. Legs that once bore you through life's adventures now falter, leaving you uncertain, vulnerable, and gripped by a fear that wasn't there before. Every step becomes a negotiation, every staircase a challenge, and the simple joy of a walk in the park can morph into a daunting ordeal. The emotional toll is as heavy as the physical. There's the frustration of struggling to keep up with loved ones, the quiet dread of a fall that could shatter more than just bones, and the ache of a life shrinking as mobility fades. Yet, this sobering reality burns a spark of hope, a truth that can set you free. You can fight back. Science offers a lifeline, revealing that targeted nutrition, specifically protein, calcium, and vitamin D, holds the power to slow this relentless decline, rebuild lost muscle, and fortify brittle bones. And at the heart of this defense, eggs, humble, unassuming, yet brimming with the nutrients your legs are crying for. These tiny powerhouses deliver high-quality protein to combat sarcopenia's muscle theft, each bite helping to repair and strengthen the fibers that keep you moving. Calcium, abundant in eggs, shores up bone density, standing guard against the fragility that threatens your independence. Vitamin D, often enriched in specialty eggs, ensures that calcium does its job, locking into bones to keep them strong and resilient. But the battle doesn't stop at the plate. Pair these nutritional heroes with action, a daily walk to wake up dormant muscles, gentle stretches to ease stiff joints, and mindful hydration to keep everything gliding smoothly, and you're not just preserving your legs, you're reclaiming your life. Consider Edward, a 72-year-old who felt his legs weakening, each step a reminder of what he was losing. Desperate to stay active for his grandkids, he turned to a diet rich in eggs, packing his mornings with protein-packed omelets and his afternoons with purpose. Within months, his strides grew steadier, his confidence returned, and he was chasing his granddaughters through the yard, laughter replacing fear. Then there's Margaret, 79, whose shaky steps had confined her to a chair, her world shrinking with every cancelled outing. By adding nutrient-dense eggs to her meals, scrambled with greens, poached over toast, she fueled her body's fight against frailty. Slowly, her legs responded, carrying her back to her book club, her smile brighter than ever. These aren't miracles. They're proof of what's possible when you arm yourself with knowledge and resolve. The biology of leg weakness is daunting, yes. Sarcopenia doesn't discriminate, and osteoporosis looms as a silent threat, with 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 50 at risk of a fracture. Joints bear the scars of a lifetime, their cartilage wearing thin, while hormonal declines leave muscles struggling to regenerate. But science doesn't just explain the problem. It hands you the tools to fight it. Protein isn't just food, it's medicine, rebuilding muscle fiber by fiber. Studies show that older adults need 1.2 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily to counter sarcopenia. Eggs, with 6 grams per serving, are an easy, delicious start. Calcium, vital for bone health, works hand in hand with vitamin D, which 50% of seniors lack due to reduced sun exposure and dietary gaps. A single egg can deliver a dose of both, especially if it's fortified or pasture-raised, soaking up sunlight's benefits. Beyond nutrition, movement is your ally. Even a 15-minute walk daily boosts muscle retention, while balance exercises like Tai Chi cut fall risk by up to 55%, according to research. Hydration, too, plays a starring role. Dehydration stiffens joints and cramps muscles, but a steady sip of water keeps everything limber. Regular checkups add another layer of defense, catching bone density dips or muscle loss early before they steal more than you can afford to lose. The stakes are high. Weak legs don't just limit movement. They erode independence, with 20% of older adults who fracture a hip losing the ability to live on their own within a year. But the reward is higher still. Imagine stepping out with confidence. No handrail needed. No fear holding you back. Picture yourself kneeling in the garden, rising without a wince, or twirling with a grandchild, your heart as light as your feet. This isn't a fantasy. It's within reach. Eggs are your starting point, but the journey is yours to shape. Will you let the silent thief of aging steal your legs, your freedom, your joy? Or will you fight back, one bite, one step, one choice at a time? The answer lies in your hands and your plate. Choose strength. Choose eggs. Choose you. 1. Farm fresh chicken eggs. The protein champions. As the years pile on, there's a quiet sorrow in noticing how the simplest tasks, like climbing a staircase or strolling through the grocery store, start to feel like Herculean feats. For seniors, the legs often bear the first scars of time, weakening under the stealthy assault of sarcopenia, that relentless thief stripping away muscle mass at 1 to 2% per year after 60. It's a betrayal that stings. Legs that once danced through life now tremble, leaving you unsteady, uncertain, and shadowed by the fear of a fall that could unravel everything. The emotional weight is crushing. Missed walks with friends, the pang of watching grandkids play from a distance, the creeping dread that your independence is slipping away. But here's the ember of hope that can blaze into a fire. You don't have to surrender. Science hands you a weapon in the form of targeted nutrition, and at the forefront of this fight are farm-fresh chicken eggs, nature's protein-packed champions, ready to breathe strength back into your fading feet. Crack one open, and you unleash 6 grams of high-quality protein, a vital elixir for muscles crying out to be rebuilt. Protein isn't just fuel. It's the very mortar that repairs the muscle fibers sarcopenia tears apart, a lifeline for seniors whose bodies grow less efficient at synthesizing it with age. Studies shout the truth. Older adults need 1.2 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily to fend off muscle loss, more than their younger selves, and a single egg delivers a delicious, accessible chunk of that goal. Scramble them with a handful of spinach, poach them over a slice of whole grain toast, or whip them into a fluffy omelet bursting with herbs. These golden orbs transform breakfast into a battle cry against frailty. Take Edward, a 72-year-old retiree who felt his legs faltering, each step a reminder of what he was losing. Once an avid hiker, he'd resigned himself to a chair, his granddaughters pleased to play tugging at his heart. Then came the turning point. His daughter slid a plate of scrambled eggs across the table, urging him to try. "Just eat, Dad," she said, her voice thick with hope. He did, 2 eggs every morning, rich with protein and promise. Weeks later, the wobble in his stride steadied, and soon he was chasing those granddaughters through the yard, their giggles mingling with his astonished laughter. "I feel like me again," he said, tears of relief glistening in his eyes. That's the power of farm-fresh chicken eggs. Not a miracle, but a marvel grounded in biology. Muscle loss isn't the only foe. It's part of a cruel trio with bone fragility and joint stiffness, all conspiring to rob you of mobility. After 40, sarcopenia creeps in, accelerating after 60, while bones thin into osteoporosis's grasp. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 50 face a fracture risk. Joints, too, grown under decades of wear, their cartilage fraying, leaving knees and hips aching with every move. Hormones like testosterone and growth hormone dwindle, slowing the body's repair crew, and the result is legs that falter where they once flew. Yet protein, the hero in every egg, fights back. It's the raw material your muscles crave, knitting together fibers to restore strength, while pairing it with calcium and vitamin D, also found in eggs, bolsters bones against the brittleness of age. Edward's story isn't unique. Across the country, seniors are rediscovering their legs through this simple staple. Consider Joan, 68, who'd stopped her daily walks, her calves too weak to carry her. A friend suggested eggs, cheap, easy, and packed with what she needed. She started with a hard-boiled pear at lunch, then graduated to omelets with peppers and onions. Months later, she was back on her route, the breeze in her hair and a spring in her step. "I didn't think something so small could do so much," she marveled, her voice alive with wonder. Science backs her awe. Protein boosts muscle protein synthesis, a process that declines with age but revs up with the right intake. Eggs deliver all 9 essential amino acids, making them a complete protein, rare in plant-based options, perfect for seniors battling sarcopenia's grip. But it's not just about the numbers. It's the feeling. The joy of rising from a chair without a grunt, the pride of keeping pace with a friend, the relief of knowing a fall isn't lurking around every corner. Eggs alone won't rewrite your fate, they need allies. A 15-minute walk daily keeps muscles engaged, while water sipped throughout the day wards off cramps and stiffness. A doctor's checkup can spot weaknesses early, pairing diet with tailored moves like leg lifts or squats. Together, they form a fortress against the silent thief. The stakes are stark. Weak legs don't just limit you, they threaten everything. 1 in 5 older adults who fracture a hip lose independence within a year, a statistic that chills the soul. But the reward is radiant. Picture yourself striding to the mailbox, no cane in sight, or kneeling to plant tulips, rising with ease. Imagine twirling with a grandchild, your heart soaring as high as your feet. Farm-fresh chicken eggs are your starting line, 6 grams of protein in every bite, a taste of resilience on your tongue. They're not just food, they're a promise. Edward felt it. Joan lived it. You can, too. The thief of age may whisper weakness, but with every egg, you shout back, "My legs are mine to keep." So crack one open today. Savor the sizzle, the warmth, the power. Your feet don't have to fade. Not yet, not ever. You've got too much life left to live, and these protein champions are here to carry you through it, one strong, steady step at a time. 2 omega-3 enriched eggs. The joint protectors. Aging carries a bittersweet melody, a tune of wisdom gained and, too often, mobility lost. For seniors, it's the legs that first hum a mournful note, their joints stiffening under the weight of years, turning once fluid strides into cautious shuffles. Knees ache with every bend, hips groan with every rise, and the simple act of stepping out into the world can feel like a plea to a body that no longer listens. This isn't just wear and tear, it's a quiet unraveling, driven by sarcopenia's muscle theft at 1 to 2% per year after 60, bones thinning into fragility, and joints bearing the scars of decades. Cartilage, that smooth cushion between bones, frays like an old quilt, leaving inflammation to flare and stiffness to settle in. The emotional sting cuts deep, the frustration of a walk cut short, the pang of watching life bustle by from a chair, the creeping fear that a misstep could mean a fall, and with it, a fracture that steals independence. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 50 face that risk, a statistic that haunts me. But here's the chorus of hope that can drown out the dirge. You can fight back. Science offers a salve, and omega-3 enriched eggs, those golden marvels infused with the fatty acids of fatty fish, stand ready as joint protectors, soothing inflammation and restoring ease to your steps. These aren't ordinary eggs. They're supercharged with omega-3s, the same compounds that tame swelling in salmon and mackerel, delivering a dual gift of protein and joint relief. Crack one open, and you're not just eating, you're healing, giving your knees and hips a chance to move smoothly again. Take John, a 68-year-old gardener whose knees had turned every squat into a wince, his beloved flower beds growing wild as he retreated indoors. "I thought I'd lost it," he'd say, voice heavy with defeat. Then a neighbor handed him a carton of omega-3 enriched eggs, touting their magic. Skeptical but desperate, he swapped his usual scramble for these, sizzling them with garlic and herbs. Within a month, the ache softened, and soon he was back in the dirt, kneeling and rising without that old sting. "It's like oil for my joints," he laughed, hands muddy and heart light. That's the promise of these eggs, not a cure, but a comfort grounded in biology. As we age, inflammation becomes a relentless foe, fueled by years of joint use and hormonal shifts that sap repair. After 40, sarcopenia creeps in, stripping muscle, while osteoporosis looms, with bones losing density. 20% of hip fracture victims lose independence within a year. Joints, meanwhile, take the brunt. Cartilage thins, synovial fluid dwindles, and inflammation flares, stiffening knees and hips until movement feels like a battle. Omega-3s step in as peacemakers. Studies sing their praises. These fatty acids, DHA and EPA, slash inflammation by curbing cytokines, the molecules that fan the flames. In seniors, where joint pain often pairs with arthritis, affecting over 50% past 65, omega-3s ease stiffness, boost mobility, and cut reliance on pain meds. One egg delivers 100 to 200 milligrams of omega-3s, depending on the hen's feed, a tasty dose toward the 500 milligrams daily experts recommend for joint health. Scramble them with peppers, poach them with a dash of turmeric, or bake them into a frittata. These eggs turn meals into medicine. John's not alone. Across towns and cities, seniors are feeling the shift. Meet Clara, 73, whose hips had locked her into a sedentary slump, her dance class a fading memory. A dietitian nudged her toward omega-3 eggs, and she started with a sunny-side-up pair each morning. Weeks later, her hips loosened, and she swayed back into class, twirling with a grin. "I didn't think I'd dance again," she said, eyes sparkling. It's not just the omega-3s. It's the protein, too. 6 grams per egg, fortifying muscles that support those joints, a tag-team effort against age's assault. Biology backs the magic. Omega-3s lubricate joints by boosting synovial fluid, while protein repairs muscle fibers sarcopenia targets. Pair them with calcium and vitamin D, also in eggs, and bones get a lift, too. But eggs need partners. A daily stroll, even 10 minutes, keeps joints limber. Research shows it cuts arthritis pain by 25%. Water sips steadily and flushes inflammation's debris, while a doctor's eye catches trouble early, maybe adding fish oil if eggs alone aren't enough. The stakes are high. Weak, stiff legs don't just slow you, they shrink your world. Falls spike after 65, with 30% of seniors tumbling yearly, and joint pain fuels that risk. Yet the reward is radiant. Imagine bending to tie your shoe without a twinge, striding to the park with no dread, or dancing at a wedding, your hips swaying free. Omega-3 enriched eggs are your bridge to that life, each bite a balm, each meal a step toward ease. John felt it in his garden, Clara in her dance. You can, too. The thief of age may stiffen your joints, but these eggs whisper back, not today. Sizzle one up, savor the warmth, feel the relief. Your legs don't have to fade. Not yet, not ever. They're yours to reclaim, one smooth, steady move at a time, with omega-3s lighting the way. 3. Pasture-raised eggs. The vitamin D dynamos. Aging arrives like a whisper, soft and unassuming, until one day you notice the echo of its presence in your legs, those faithful companions that once carried you through life's grand adventures now trembling under the weight of years. For seniors, it's a poignant unraveling. Bones that once stood as unyielding pillars grow brittle, muscles that powered effortless strides weaken, and since bold steps become tentative, shadowed by the quiet fear of a fall that could shatter more than just a moment. This isn't mere weariness. It's a biological siege. After 40, sarcopenia slips in like a thief in the night, pilfering muscle mass at a relentless 1 to 2% per year. Its pace quickening after 60, leaving legs that once danced through parks or raced after children faltering under the strain. Bones, too, succumb, losing density until they're no longer the steadfast supports of youth but fragile twigs, teetering on the edge of osteoporosis's grasp. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 50 face the looming risk of a fracture. Joints, etched with decades of movement, stiffen as cartilage thins and synovial fluid dwindles, turning every bend into a creak, every rise into a groan. Hormonal tides ebb, growth hormone and testosterone fade. slowing the body's once vigorous repair crew, as if time has conspired to sap the very vitality that defined you. The result is a betrayal that cuts to the core. Legs that carried you through life's highs and lows now waver, leaving you unsteady, uncertain, and gripped by a dread that wasn't there before. The emotional toll is a heavy shroud. The frustration of a walk abandoned halfway, the ache of watching grandkids play from a chair, the silent terror that a stumble could snap a hip, stealing independence in an instant. Statistics paint a stark picture. 20% of older adults who fracture a hip lose the ability to live on their own within a year, a loss that reverberates through families and futures. Yet, amidst this twilight glows a dawn of hope, a truth that can set you free. You don't have to surrender to this fate. Science unfurls a banner of resistance, and at its heart shine pasture-raised eggs, laid by hens roaming free under the sun's embrace, radiant as vitamin D dynamos, delivering a nutrient your bones and legs desperately need to stand strong. These aren't your average eggs. They're nature's alchemists, soaking up sunlight to pack up to 4 times the vitamin D of their conventional counterparts, a golden gift to fortify your frame against age's relentless march. Crack one open, and you're not just eating, you're arming your body with the sunshine vitamin, a key that unlocks calcium's power, locking it into bones to keep them dense, resilient, and unbroken. Picture Margaret, 79, whose legs had begun to betray her, each shaky step a reminder of a life slipping away. Once a fixture at her book club, she'd retreated to a chair, her world shrinking as her confidence crumbled. "I felt like a prisoner in my own body," she'd whisper, her voice trembling with the weight of loss. Then a friend, with a knowing smile, handed her a carton of pasture-raised eggs, their deep yolks glowing with promise. She started simply. 2 poached eggs at lunch, the warmth seeping into her hands and heart. Weeks passed, and something shifted. Her steps steadied, her legs answered her call, and soon she was strutting back to that book club, pride lighting her face like a beacon. "My legs feel alive again," she beamed, her words a testament to a strength reclaimed. That's the quiet miracle of these eggs. Not a fairy tale, but a fact forged in the furnace of biology. Vitamin D is no mere accessory. It's a cornerstone. Without it, even a calcium-rich diet falls flat. Your body can't absorb it, leaving bones porous, brittle, and primed for disaster. Half of the seniors grapple with a deficiency, their days indoors and diets lean on this vital spark, and the consequences are dire. Weak bones double the risk of falls, and falls surge after 65, with 30% of older adults tumbling yearly. Each slips a potential fracture in waiting. Pasture-raised eggs rise to the challenge, delivering 4 to 6 micrograms of vitamin D per yolk, up to 30% of the 20 micrograms daily experts recommend for those over 70, a delicious bulwark against frailty. Scramble them with a handful of kale, bake them into a savory quiche with mushrooms, or soft-boil them with a sprinkle of cracked pepper. Each bite is a brick in the wall against bone loss. Margaret's story isn't solitary. It's a chorus swelling across kitchens and lives. Consider Tom, 75, whose doctor waved a red flag, bone density dipping, his once firm gait wobbling like a sapling in a storm. He'd loved his porch swing, the gentle rock a rhythm of peace, but his legs threatened to silence it. A neighbor's tip led him to pasture-raised eggs, and he paired them with morning walks, letting yolk and sunlight work in tandem. Months later, his bone scan turned a corner, and he was back on that swing, legs solid as oak beneath him. "I didn't think eggs could save me," he chuckled, his voice rich with wonder and gratitude. Science unfurls the why. Vitamin D boosts calcium absorption by 30 to 40%, cementing it into bones to fend off osteoporosis, while also sharpening muscle function. Studies show it slashes fall risk by 22%. Eggs bring protein too, 6 grams each, mending muscle fibers sarcopenia targets, a trifecta with calcium and D to bolster your legs from the ground up. But it's not just numbers, it's the sensation, the relief of stepping down a curb without a creak, the joy of kneeling to plant spring bulbs and rising with ease, the quiet confidence of a stride unshackled by fear. Eggs need comrades, though. A 15-minute walk in daylight doubles vitamin D's punch. Your skin brews it, too, while water sipped steadily keeps joints gliding, flushing stiffness away. Regular checkups catch bone loss early, maybe adding a supplement if the sun and eggs fall short. The stakes are towering. Weak legs don't just slow you, they threaten everything. A hip fracture can spiral into a nursing home, a fate no one dreams of. Yet the reward is a sunrise of possibility. Imagine striding to the mailbox, no cane in sight, or twirling with a grandchild, your bones as steadfast as your spirit. Pasture-raised eggs light that path, each yolk a burst of bottled sunshine, each meal a defiance of frailty. Margaret felt it in her strut, Tom in his swing, and countless others in their reclaimed steps. You can, too. The thief of age may murmur brittleness, but these eggs roar back. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Fire up the stove, let one sizzle, taste the richness, and feel the strength seep in. Your legs don't have to fade. Not now, not while you've got breath to fight and sunlight on your plate. They're yours to reclaim, one steady, sunlit step at a time, with vitamin D dynamos blazing the trail through the shadows of age. So grab that carton, crack an egg, and let the healing begin. Your golden years deserve nothing less than golden strength. Well, friends, we've journeyed together through the quiet struggles of aging legs and the radiant hope that pasture-raised eggs, those vitamin D dynamos, bring to the fight. From the stealthy theft of sarcopenia and the fragility of thinning bones to the stories of Margaret and Tom, who turned shaky steps into steady strides, we've uncovered how these golden yolks can fortify your legs and light up your golden years. It's not just about eating, it's about reclaiming the strength to chase grandkids, plant gardens, or simply stride with confidence, free from the shadow of a fall. So, tell me, what have you learned today? What's one thing that sparked in your heart, one lesson you'll carry forward and weave into your life? Maybe it's cracking a pasture-raised egg for breakfast, stepping out for a sunlit walk, or booking that checkup to guard your bones. Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your takeaway and how you'll put it into practice. If you've enjoyed this video and found a flicker of inspiration, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support keeps this community thriving, spreading strength and hope to every corner. Thank you for being here. Let's keep lighting the way to stronger legs, together, one step at a time. See you in the next one.